Ooh, there's these damn enchiladas. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby, baby. Ooh, baby. Man, cannot wait. I've been thinking about this all day. Get over here. Woo! Woo, would you look at that? Enchiladas, here I come. What the? Gonna get a bitch. No one messes with me to get my enchiladas. No, no, please don't hurt me. I just want my enchiladas. I'm worried about the enchiladas.
My enchiladas.
Ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh, baby, ooh.
What's going on, guys and gals, and welcome to Good Reel Hunting. We hunt for the good reels so you don't have to. It's your boy Brad. The Brett Man's right over there. Chris is right underneath us. We have made our way up to week 5 of our largest Friday the 13th summer in the history of YouTube. We're going to be reviewing Friday the 13th Part 5, A New Beginning today. We're the first 4 out of the way, all the good ones. Well, not all the good ones, but the 4-pack of solid Friday the 13th movies out of the way. We're getting into our uncharted territory now, so we're excited to get to that, Brett. Hit us up with the card over here real quick, and I'm going to go ahead and tell you, we're not going to be alone in this journey. We're going to be joined by Chase Moser from Moser Movie Reviews, Robbie Sobel, Filthy Dan, the man himself, Nick Cooling, and tonight at 8 p.m., House of the Living Dead will be doing a live watch party, watch-along, for Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning. So you can hang out with Ethel and Junior all at the same time. It's going to be awesome. So how you gents doing today? You excited to talk about this one or what?
Yeah, you tell him, Brad.
One more thing. If you haven't seen the rest of our reviews, we'll put a link for those over Brett's head. Be sure to check those out. We've had a lot of fun so far. If you can't tell already, this has been the most exciting part of our YouTube franchise, I think. So, yeah, let's get into this thing, man, here in a little bit. You guys pumped or what?
Yeah, how you doing, bro? You tell him, Brad.
Man, I'll tell you what, I'm more ready to go than Lana with a button-up shirt and a floorboard of cocaine, okay? I feel ready to go.
Man, I'm more happier for Junior eating his son freaking stool. Or stew. Not stool.
Yeah.
All right,
dude, pretty much
right
the way
the
it
bat.
looked like he
I
was
love it.
eating shit.
God dang.
Well,
You big
like,
dildo.
I bet it's not even seasoned, so of course it's gonna taste like shit.
Okay.
Excellent. Right off the bat. Love it.
So
Well,
it happens.
As Lana would say, it's showtime. All right, let's get into this.
Yeah, buddy.
Alrighty, so shall I go? Oh yeah, of course we gotta do this real quick. The ding.
Oh, the
Reveal.
deets of the movie. I like it. Okay, so obviously this thing came out in March 22nd, 1985. It's got a pretty solid 4.8 out of 10 on the IMDb rating system, and then Rotten Tomatoes has it at a 19 and a 26 on the tomato meter. 19 obviously by the critics and 26 by the fans. $2.2 million budget, which is like, I mean, they're getting up there on these budgets. And this one stacked in, it racked in rather $21,930,000, and it was directed by Danny Steinman. Of course, gents, I feel like this tomato meter is higher than Part 3 was. Am I wrong?
It is because Part 3 was 7% by the critics, and I totally do not understand that.
Wowza! What do you think about that, Chris?
Man, it's so fucked up. That's what I was talking about. This is so wild to me that it's this was received better than 4. Is it 4? Am I talking about 3?
Part 3.
Yeah, Part 3. Because I mean, they're both dumb, but 3 is so much fun, and this is just bad. Like, you know,
Well, that's one word for it. But
but
actually,
the
I actually agree with the tomato meter and the audience meter this time around. Maybe you can increase the audience one by maybe like make it low 40s, but the freaking critic meter, I'm not surprised at all. IMBD is fine, 2.2 million. But however, sometimes I feel like they took the cheap route instead.
Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't really know what most of the budget was spent on. I mean, maybe it was off-screen kills, but we'll get to that here in a little bit.
I'm going to tell you guys right now. I can already tell you it was the titties.
That's true.
And I think
yeah.
Some of the best in the franchise, and I think that's exactly what happened. And this is what I was telling my wife the other night. I really think the board meeting for this was, fellas and ladies, we need to up the titties. Who gives a shit about the script? And I know that I've said that. I know that I've said that a couple of times, but I swear to God that it is so true here. Is it not? I mean, it's like, who cares about the story? Let's get these beautiful young ladies in here. Let's get their tops off, get those nipples just a flopping. And then we've got ourselves a movie. And they're like, you know what? Who cares? That's it.
They even brought in a porn director to direct this movie as well, which isn't. I mean, to be fair, it's not uncommon to go from porn to an actual movie. But for this movie, I thought it was kind of appropriate, and I thought that was kind of the mood they were going for here at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, let's just say the titties were stupendous. Damn it! Wrong movie.
Wow.
Wrong movie.
Foreshadowing. Okay.
Oh man. So should we go into the Jason Voorhees fact card or facts card?
Why don't you fill us in a little bit?
All right. Let's go ahead to the Jason Voorhees for part 5. Which, yes, guys, I know what you're thinking, but Brett, Jason Voorhees ain't in this movie. Yes, he might not be in this movie, but the character itself, which our boy Roy tried to impersonate, he is doing it. So we're counting it. If not, just make fun of me in the comment section below. Whatever. So the actors in this movie portraying this Jason Voorhees is Tom Morga, which he is one of the ones where he was in a Friday the 13th movie, a Halloween movie, and he was Leatherface too, I believe. So he has a great resume of playing a famous killer. And also, Johnny Hawk was portraying Jason Voorhees, too, in the opening scene of this movie as Jason Voorhees. So I thought that was really interesting, too, because I never knew there were 2 people playing Jason Voorhees in this movie. Then I believe we got a franchise high for a movie of 22 kills, which is super impressive. They really ramped up the kills. And how did freaking Roy kill his victims? Well, he used a machete, a screwdriver, a road flare, Chris's favorite weapon, an axe, a knife, shears, a belt, a metal spike, and, of course, the clever.
That's awesome. I tell you, he may not be Jason Voorhees, but he was doing very well last night.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I think Johnny Hawk came over from Danny Steinman's previous work. Okay, that is a porn name if I've ever seen it.
Yeah.
Oh my God!
You're not wrong. I would like to actually. I'd like to do a little bit of research on that and see if that's actually what comes back.
Even though it is kind of funny, his last name is Hawk because he was wearing a hockey mask. So,
okay, is it too late to just quit this?
I think.
But dude, this it's going to have a flair to it, man. We need you. It needs that flair.
Okay, let's get into this damn thing. Okay, what do you guys like about this thing? Let's talk about. You want to get some of the good stuff out of the way first, or what?
Yeah, buddy, bring it on.
What you got, Bert? There's some good things I could talk about this movie. Let's talk about Tommy here, which is played by John Shepherd. I really enjoyed him for what we call the 2/3 of the movie, which I'll get to him in the third act in the negatives. But I thought he was really well done. I like the direction they went with the character, just to focus on his psyche, on what kind of like where he's at after the whole events of Part 4. And I thought John Shepherd really sold that version of Tommy Jarvis very, very well. and you kind of also like feel sorry for him, and absolutely, of course, he freaking watched videos of Cobra Kai because strike first, no fucking mercy with his karate moves.
I did get the feeling I was watching like a season 2, episode 7 kind of deal of Cobra Kai when I was watching this at one point. Once he starts kind of busting out those moves there on your boy Junior.
Yeah.
Everybody was kung fu fighting. Those kids were fast as lightning. In fact, it was a little bit frightening. But they fought with expert timing. They were funky Chinamen.
Tommy Karate, dude.
He was not waxing on and waxing off, even though he had the porn director to do that scene if he wanted to. But he was definitely striking. So
he was striking, and he struck very hard. And Junior did not take that very well at all.
No, he hurt him bad. What hurt me bad, Mom? Which I want to say right now, the scene of him fucking rage ramping his motorcycle through the fence, one of the most annoying scenes in cinematic history. Jason Voorhees did, or I guess Roy, excuse me, did us all a service in chopping his fucking head off. Okay, I want to get that out there right now. That was the most annoying thing.
When he's just driving around in circles.
Yeah, like, hurt me bad, Mom. He hurt me bad. It was
you like, fucking killed my mom. You hear me?
I swear to God, I'm like, oh my God, it's a fucking. Maybe it was because I was half hungover when I watched it, but I was like, oh, this is so annoying. Please kill him. And then he chops his head off, and I was like,
I like him,
yeah.
dude. He came rolling in like he's damn cousin Eddie from Christmas Vacation, and he came in pretty strong. And like I liked him and Ethel. Like I actually have that listed as a positive, him and Ethel, because it gives you a little bit of a fun time for the movie. Like you have the whole thing where she's like, yeah, chopping the chicken over there.
Yeah. Even at the very beginning of it. At the very beginning of it, say it like you mean it, Wall. You know what I'm talking about? And she's like, "These mother, I'm gonna blow." Oh, what'd she say?
Would you shut the fuck up?
I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out. Yeah, it's like
I was like, I got a bomb on me. You step back now.
You big
dildo.
Yeah, that's what she said at the beginning of it. You big dildo. Yeah, that whole scene at the beginning where the sheriff is just like, "Oh, here's Ethel and Junior again." And she's like,
I'm gonna blow your fucking brains out. You hear me?
What about when that fucking random dude, that like weenie whacker guy comes in? He's like, "Hey man, I need to earn me a meal or whatever. Like I haven't ate in 3 weeks." And
I have that written down here. I was like,
Raymond.
Yeah, hobos don't even need a sign. You know what? I mean, in what world was that back in '85 when you could just knock on the door and be like, "I'd like to earn a meal," and someone is actually going to be like, "Okay, cool, go shovel the chicken shit, then come back in." You know, it's like, what? Is that really what world we live in?
Shovel that there chicken shit, and I'll feed your belly after that. I don't know.
Yeah, and I love her first response goes,
"Who the fuck are you? What the fuck do you want?"
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So, that character was the most random. Like obviously, like, and there's a few characters in this movie you could say this for, but I was literally just put in this thing to get chopped off, and his kill wasn't even that good. So like, like at the end of the day, you could have just left him out entirely. But what the fuck, whatever. Somebody's got to clean the chicken shit out of the back, so you might as well leave him in.
Yeah. But honestly, even Ethel and Junior, it's like, what was their entire function outside of a little bit of comedic relief? That's nothing. You could cut them out of the entire movie and nothing would change.
But you wouldn't do that. Like obviously, if you guys were to put a list together of top 5 characters in the Friday the 13th franchise, both of these guys would make the list alongside Shelley and probably maybe you could put Tommy in there. Okay, I'm kidding. But at the end of the day, I really do like these guys. Because I know they're definitely fun characters. I'm just saying, narratively speaking, they serve the they don't serve the story. They just serve the experience of the movie, right? You guys with me? They had a couple kills in there. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, they couple kills, couple laughs, but they don't. You could cut them out, and the story would be the same. You know what I mean?
Totally.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, and before we talk about one of my other favorite characters, I know we went way off field with that. Let's go back to Tom. Let's go back to Tommy real quick. What did you two guys think about Tommy and John Shepard?
I love John Shepard's performance. I thought that he was good for the most part. Just a little curious. I love that they were trying to do like a character study here. Like, oh, this 12-year-old boy gets his world rocked. It's shattered. Obviously, his psyche is fractured, and that's where this story is kind of headed. But at the same time, it was kind of a drag just for him to be like, almost like catatonic in some state, in some parts of the movie, like some sort of catatonic state where he's crippled by these visions and sort of hallucinations.
Yeah, hallucinations,
like that.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And so, it was just kind of a drag. And then he disappears, for a very important chunk of the, the latter half of the second act, the beginning of the third act of the movie, and then just kind of shows back up at the end to sort of play hero. So it was kind of a weird structure, a weird character arc in this one for me. But I did like the way that they wanted to explore that sort of psyche of his character and everything. That made for a great story, or at least idea of a story. But for me, it just kind of felt like they misfired. They were trying to go in a lot of different directions, and if they would have stuck with that through the whole movie, I think it would have been more interesting that way.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Maybe I'm alone. What do you guys think?
I think so too. That's what my notes. I mean, that's pretty much the same thing. I like the idea, the concept they're going with is kind of following that PTSD of Tommy and whatnot from the stuff that he experienced as a young child, and that concept alone is great. But like you said, he disappeared for a long portion of the movie, and when he does come back, he doesn't do shit. He stands there. Jason walks up, or Roy walks up to him, and he just kind of stares at him. He's in a trance, and he gets freaking chopped up, and he does a little pocket knife thing, and then he just climbs up the ladder and he passes out up there. I think eventually he pushes some dude out a window, but at the end of the day, he doesn't really do much. And
he actually chops off Roy's hand, and freaking Reggie the Reckless freaking pushed him off.
Yes, he does chop the hand off.
Yeah, dude. Reggie's really the main character.
And we're going to get into Reggie.
He's a scream queen in this movie.
So I think, I mean, he shows up like outside of his karate. Like he really didn't provide a lot to this story, and I thought the karate was very solid moment. But then, he, like after that moment, though, he's gone. He's gone until the very end, and then all he does is come back and get chopped up. So I thought that was kind of annoying the way they did it. And I will say that his character in this movie is not really needed. Like he's got beef with Jason. He ain't got shit with Roy. So like it's almost more of a coincidence that he's even here dealing with this, because like his storyline with Roy isn't even a thing. Like like he goes to the loony bin is how they call it in the movie, and like he's just kind of in the wrong place at the wrong place at the wrong time. Like this has nothing to do with him at the end of the day. At the end of the day, it's this group of people in this group home dealing with this freaking psychopathic paramedic that freaking comes after him for revenge, and he's like not even really involved in the story. You know what I mean? Like,
so you're telling me this movie could have been fucking avoided if that fucking candy bar wasn't chopped in half?
I think you're really out of line.
It's all over a candy bar.
It is, and again, at the end of the day, Tommy has nothing to do with this. Like he's just there.
Yeah, it's almost like
he's left alone.
Yeah, he's at the place. He's actually like there trying to mentally recover, trying to mentally better himself. And it's just a coincidence that this fucking guy decides to take on the persona of Jason Voorhees to exact revenge on some fucking people who murdered his son, which I get that, but it's really just coincidental, like Brad said, that Tommy happens to be enrolled there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if Tommy's going to be your protagonist, I felt like they could have done something a little bit better with this, but whatever.
Yeah, it happens.
Yeah. Speaking of which, I mean, I just want to dive right into Joey and hear what your guys' thoughts are, because when I was watching this, I was like, what the fuck is going on? And I will say, I was more surprised about him being hacked up than probably any kill up to this point in the franchise. I swear to God, I was like, what? You know, because I think it's like the only non-Jason. I mean, you know, technically with Pamela and everything, but the only like non-Jason kill that you see like from someone else, whenever the guy's just like, ah, he's fucking comes at him, and I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, you know, we should just let the guy fucking help with the laundry. You know what I mean, or whatever. It's like.
He was
This poor fucking
really
guy, man. Yeah, I know. I was like, this poor fucking guy, and then the guy gets just fed up and it hacks him to pieces. But what were your guys' thoughts whenever he got hacked to death, man? Were you all surprised as I was?
Man, I did not see that coming. Like, and again, it's just over a fucking chocolate bar, man. Like, all he wanted to do was help. Like,
He's like, I'll leave it here for you, old Greg.
Yeah.
And so, you know what? You're really out of line this time. Just forget it.
Yeah, all he wants to do is help. And honestly, it's so crazy. It's like he's just there to help, and then I can't help. Well, here, let me offer you a bite of my chocolate bar, and people are so pissed off about it. I'm like, dude, you can come and do my laundry. Such a
delicious chocolate bar.
Yes, I would definitely A, take the bar. B, he can do all the damn laundry he wants to do. I don't give a shit. He can come do. It's not my laundry. If he wants to come do the laundry. Let him come do the laundry, and I'll take the chocolate bar, and I'll go over there under that tree, and I'll eat the chocolate bar while he does the laundry. I don't care.
What I'm saying.
I don't care. Yeah.
In all fairness, it did look like that Butterfinger was a little melted, but I would definitely let him do the fucking laundry and just like, you know what?
It looked like a good bar.
If you want to do it, you do it. I could fucking go. Oh, is it a good bar?
Yeah.
I think apologies. It was a yellow wrapper and all that, but I even know who the ultimate villain of this movie is. I just now figured it out.
His name's Chip. No,
it's Robin, dude.
Really
yeah,
it's freaking Robin, because she was so mean to Joey, and she was also a real bitch to Jake when she just laughed, because all Jake wanted to say was, "I just want to make love to you." Like, I thought that was sweet. Like, I thought that was sweet, and she just fucking laughed in his face.
Well, yeah. What else are you gonna do? And going back to Joey, okay, like A, yes, obviously I have to do the laundry, but B, like, who gave this motherfucker a damn axe over here? He's obviously suffering from a crisis, and he's definitely having a hard time, and he's not stable in the head at the moment.
Yeah, he's PTSD, of course.
Yeah, he's whacking
Matt
the shit out.
Worst.
He's just over here like, okay, let's go ahead and give this guy some. He's got PTSD or something. Let's go ahead and give him an axe, and then just put him in the same field with all these other mofo's, and just see what happens. Like, I just think that's a bad plan from start to finish. If you ask me,
it is not good. But no, Matt is the absolute worst, supervisor. Him and Pam are the absolute worst supervisors I have ever seen.
Not too many bad words about Pam, okay?
Oh, I'm getting to that bitch here in the negative.
Hey, buddy, you saw that white shirt at the end.
Hey, oh god, yeah, I didn't. Yeah, I'll get to that. That's the only little. Those are two positives from her. But let me talk about one last character real quick. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby. Gotta talk about boy Demon. Baby. I loved Demon. The only negative about him is I wanted more Demon.
Dude, I did too, man.
He was such a fun character, and it's just damn enchiladas that got him killed.
Who's the damn enchiladas?
I bet he got him from Taco Bell or something. So.
You know what? I love one of my favorite scenes on here. And I just had a note that said Demon Smorgasbord. Where they get in there, you know, he's just like offering every fucking cuisine of food that's ever been known. He's like, you want a burrito?
You want pizza?
Yeah, you want egg rolls, you want pizza, you want this, that, you know, and then he's like,
enchilada?
Yeah. And absolutely. He's like, this shit box is gross.
This shit box is gross.
I love that line so much, man. That's the worst way to go, dude.
Dude, seriously.
And a porta potty.
And he's in there. He's worried about that snake that's going to bite him in the ass, too. He sees this.
When he opens the door, I mean, I feel like there is a straight path for him to run. Yeah. And I feel like if I opened the door and I saw my wife laying there, like, bleeding out, I wouldn't just shut the door. Like, well, I'm resolved to my fate inside this shitter, right? I feel like I would at least, like, either try to help her or open the door and be like, oh, fuck, she's dead, so I'm dead next. And try and make a beeline for it, but
just another shitty way to die, man. But
I will say
that.
though, like he had like maybe what five minutes of screen time in this thing, and he's easily my favorite character in the movie. And he's one of the best characters in the franchise. Honestly, like he's like maybe not top 5 or 10, but he's definitely in the top half.
He's so much fun.
Right.
I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be in that van with him. I want to go cross country in that van with him. You know what I mean? Just smoking weed, fucking ooh baby. Ooh,
And then, of
you know what
course,
I mean?
telling his
Fucking rocking
lady.
with this guy.
Yeah, and telling his lady, like,
You gonna get it, bitch.
Tina,
just like he,
her name Tina.
yeah, oh no, let's see here. No, Anita.
Anita, yeah, like they had a good time, and like honestly, this movie
Tina
could have just
backwards.
followed them, and it would have been fine. Reggie the Reckless too. And again, Demon was another character here. They just threw in for another kill. Like he's just a random, like, hey, let's go see your buddy or your cousin or whatever. Reggie,
Or
and
your
he's like,
brother.
okay, cool,
Yeah.
yeah, your brother, or whatever. He ended up being a huge highlight of this thing, man. Like I just the whole segment he was on screen, I loved it.
Do you think that
me
the
too.
mindset was like, hey, there's not a whole lot of substance going on here, so let's just throw in a bunch of fun characters to kill and then fill the runtime with that. I really think that's like what the deal with here, because it's like you're right. Tommy is like a tertiary character, right? Like he's on the periph. It's not really about Tommy, even though it's presented that way, right? And then Demon's not that important. Ethel and Junior aren't that important. Pam,
The people in the house
really-
are not important.
Right. I mean, he's just kind of there after these people. The only person, it really should have just been the beginning scene of Joey being hacked up and then Roy going on a rage over in the corner and fucking taking the axe and hacking the other guy. Matt, is that his name, Matt?
Yeah, freaking Matt. Yeah, the
Yeah,
like the
just
main
hacking-
supervisor. Yeah, like go
hacking
after
him
the
up.
people of the house, and I'll get to that more in the negative too, because I did have an issue with that.
Yeah, so it's really
So-
like a 5-minute story. So it's really, there's no substance. It's just all fun characters to murder.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And
titties,
speaking
and
of like the
titties.
killing, yeah, and titties, we get a lot
Of
of
course.
tits.
And twins.
And no twin. There's no twin. Well, the twins.
Yeah.
But the last big positive I have in this movie is some of the kills were very cool and brutal and unique.
Yeah, they
Like
upped that
freaking
game
Tina and 80 steps were really very unique and cool with the shears to the eyes and the freaking belt. Don't pay attention to freaking Roy turning it this way in one shot and then he turned it that way in the other shot.
Yeah.
Just ignored that part, but it was still a cool kill. And those are like really the two that really stand out for me. The other ones were just there and are unforgettable. It's just forgettable.
Well, this thing had some dope ass kills in it, man. But the problem is
Definitely.
every single one of them are cutaway kills, man. There's none that were actually on screen, and that's what's really frustrating. It's an MPA thing, I know, MPAA, we get that.
It doesn't, like, MPAA will strike on a particular film that I will like murder the MPAA.
They struck on this
for
film,
ruining
dude.
that movie.
They struck on this movie. Every kill in this
Many,
thing
many
is
films.
cutaway, and it's atrocious because that was their goal. They put as many kills in here as they could squeeze into a 90-minute runtime, and most, if not all, were cutaways, and including the sheer kill. The tourniquet the tourniquet was kind of on screen, but a lot of these other ones were not, and that's no good.
And for upping the budget, like from the last film, it's kind of bizarre, you know what I mean? Because the kills in the last one, I felt like were much more gory than this one.
Mm-hmm.
I think so too, and this one literally adds people into the story just to be killed off. But when you can't see their kills, then it's like, why are they even here? Like, it's just not even. It's just pointless. So that's one thing that's really annoying.
Yeah, it really is. Do y'all have any more like positives? Like, mine are very few.
Well, Reggie the Reckless obviously is a fucking goat. Like, again, he was fantastic. I loved Reggie in this thing. He was entertaining.
In my opinion, he's the main character. I mean, Tommy, the story presents itself as focusing on him, his psyche, and all that. But like we, touched on earlier, he becomes very much a secondary, tertiary character, and I think that Reggie really, has more of like in terms of like the heart and soul of the story. I think it goes to Reggie. I think you feel
Yeah.
more for him than you do for Tommy. You guys think so
Yeah.
too?
Yeah, no,
I-
like he's
100%.
kind of like the Shelley
Oh,
of
man.
part 3, but with part 5. So I agree
Yeah.
with that.
I thought I was kind of alone in that, but yeah, I definitely think that he's like kind of, he's where the emotional stakes are in the movie, because I almost, as much as it is meant to be Tommy's story, if he were to die and Reggie would have lived, I think that Reggie would have it would have been more emotionally impactful for Reggie to take, to live than Tommy in this one. I mean, Tommy's, character arc goes on, to present something else, but I think that in this one, presented as he is, I think that Reggie held more of the emotional stakes than Tommy did.
He nailed it, yeah, too. And I would love to see Reggie come back in the franchise, honestly. Like, he could
Yeah,
come back.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Michael B.
potential there.
Jordan. I'm petitioning right now. Michael B. Jordan comes back, and the next one, adult Reggie.
With spiders
how's
on
he going-
strings, dude.
Man, he can't reenact that scream though.
That scream was pretty damn money, man. Like, he fucking nailed that. Like, that was
Michael
dope.
B. Jordan can do anything.
Yeah, he could do it.
Hey, that's true, man. Like, if he can box, he can scream. So, yeah, like Reggie the Reckless. Yeah, I really did like him. He had a good personality to him. And plus, like, they could have done more with him and Demon together fighting Roy. I thought that could have been very interesting. And Demon can sacrifice himself to make sure Reggie the Reckless stay alive. Like, that could have been an emotional gut punch. Like that. See that. You don't just want to go to like mixes and negatives, because it just really grinds my gears. The first thing, like the first bit, like the main mix I have with this movie is Jason, aka Roy. There's some parts I like about him. To me, I think he's a tough son of a bitch, because he took a beating in this movie and he got up and kept moving forward. Like think about this, guys. Yeah, he got freaking chainsaw to the arm. He had got a freaking pan with a lodge in the back. Got hit by a damn tractor and a knife in the leg, and that bastard kept going. So
He did, dude.
Yeah, so you gotta give him props for that. But damn, this Blu-ray, when they show freaking Roy, you could clearly see his eyes going. "Yarr."
Many times, my friend.
Oh,
Many
dude!
times.
It took me out. It took me out and treat him seriously, and it pissed me off.
He was just a creep, though, dude. Like, at the end of the day, like, his freaking, "You talking to me, boss?" or whatever he said.
Yeah,
like,
I love that. It's like, what?
Yeah. I was like, what? No, leave. Just go ahead and take your freaking body and get out of here. Like, no. And like, just the way he's just kind of staring. I don't know.
Dude, he was probably thinking that time. It's like, okay, what can I do to make it obviously sure it was not me? Oh, I got an idea. I'll say something. You talking to me, boss? He goes, just go away, Roy. He goes, nailed it.
That's the flare kill, right?
That's the flare kill,
Yes.
yeah.
And
He
then
said,
he cuts the other one, yeah. Okay,
he said,
I'm
"Hey,
sorry.
I'm gonna go take a crap," and he comes back, and the guy's like fucking dead in the hood, and he's like, "Hey, I hope you got that shit fixed." Rat-a-tat-tat-doo-wee. Yeah, but yeah, Roy's picking those guys up the next day, and like the sheriff's standing there, and like he's like, "Oh, what the hell is going?" It's like your classic little freaking like, "We have ourselves a homicide," and then Roy pops up. "Did you say something to me?" And
We're
then
in the scene too. But let's go for it. Let's tear this thing a new one.
They bring the cops in the very, those first two kills, and they're like, oh, like you talked about, looks like we got ourselves a homicide here. And then we have that scene in the station where the guy's like, "What the fuck? Are you telling me it's Jason Voorhees? Get the fuck out of here." Yeah, the mayor. Yeah, he's like, "You telling me it's Jason Voorhees? Get the fuck out of here. He's dead." And
give me a live suspect.
They play that part at the beginning, and then they get involved in the story, and then nothing shows up again until the very end. You know what I mean? Like, all this stuff happens. The cops don't show up once. No one brings up the cops. No one even mentions calling the cops until the very end, when they show up and they're like, "It wasn't Jason?"
That's what they were there for, just to explain what the fuck happened. Yeah, it's stupid.
Right. And so I felt like that was, "Ooh, baby." So I just felt like it was a little unnecessary to bring them into the story like that at the beginning and then not bring them up again. I mean, it's just a plot device at that point. You know what I mean?
Yes,
oh, dude.
totally.
Yeah, exactly. And dude, what really frustrated me too is this movie has so many unnecessary scenes. Like we kind of touched up on it, kind of like the diner scene and the freaking like the two like the freaking leather jacket ones. Like it brought nothing to the story just to go for a kill. And I feel like this movie.
You talking about Comb Over McMustache?
Yeah, like it's like I gotta take a shit in the woods. Yeah, those two.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I thought you were talking about Billy.
Cocaine.
Freaking Billy and Billy and Lana. Yeah, see, that scene was useless. And
while we're talking about them, real quick, Bert, I before you get on to the next thing you're about to say, I just wanted to talk about Billy and Lana real quick. Because A, every time I get up in the morning, I do the Showtime thing for myself in the mirror. But B, where the fuck did this cat come from? That's in the rafters in the restaurant, dude. That jumps out of nowhere.
Hey, man, cats come from mysterious places, man.
She's like in the middle of this restaurant, and the cat comes flying out of the freaking ceiling, like freaking. I don't know. Like what was that all about? That was strange. But I mean, I know it was just a jump scare, but it was just like who keeps cats in their ceiling? Aside from freaking your girl from The Office.
Oh, yeah, Angel.
I love that scene when Billy pulls into the diner, it fucking does a donut right in the parking lot. And then Lana goes in there and she's like pulling her shirt off, like, hey, I'm ready to do cocaine off the floorboard. I have the best titties, in this movie at least. Let's fuck.
False.
Let's do this, Roy. Okay, one of the best titties, you know what I mean, in this movie. And then she comes outside, and this fucking guy is out there, like, Comb Over McMustache, waiting to shave the hair off of his arms. I don't know if you guys are observant as me, but he could have easily shaved his arms and glued it onto his head. You know what I mean?
Oh, my God.
And he would have easily reversed balding. So I thought that was a great scene between them. I thought it was just a lot of fun.
Oh, that's great. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Just this movie just has so many unnecessary scenes. Like you didn't need. Like I love Evelyn Jr., but you really didn't need them. You didn't need the freaking leather jacket people. You didn't need Billy or Lana. You could just put more focus on the characters within that little institution. And just like give them more screen time, give that house more. You could just do more. They just had to me so many unnecessary things. And the other negative too, I feel like this movie focused way too much on the kills versus actually giving us an actual story to follow.
Yeah, the kills and the titties.
Yeah, and freaking like and fucking Tommy. Sorry, I'm just going on a fucking rant now, but fucking Tommy just got so shit on in the third act. I thought they did a great job. Like they started him off here. And it just throughout the movie, he just got lower and lower, and it's just and it's just like, dude, you had such a good idea with him, and you just dropped the ball.
They had a high point with the karate, but then it came right back down.
Yeah, why did you do any of those karate moves on Jason? Like, I know they were probably trying to sell like the whole PTSD and him being scared, but if fucking Jason came near me, I fucking karate chop his ass.
There are also a couple of weird scenes in there, like where he's just like she has to yell at him for like 5 minutes for him to even turn around from the tree, like when they're going to visit Demon, and Reggie's like, "Come on, whatever," and she's like, "Tommy," and he's like at the tree, and it takes like 3 minutes for him to be like, "Okay, I'll go." You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man.
One of the big things that I hate about the ending here is the fucking We spent the full runtime of part 3 in a damn barn, but part 5's like, okay, let's go back to another barn because we don't think you've had enough barn yet in this franchise. It's supposed to be a franchise of lakes, okay, and camps. But 2 out of the first 5 movies, we spent a lot of damn time in some damn barns, and that's what we do. We go back to this barn. There's another fucking chainsaw in there that doesn't work, okay? That's another freaking just like the second one where she's coming out and she's like, okay, let's chop some freaking Jason up. She tries to get in here again. Failure doesn't work. It's a bad thing. So like that's one thing that's kind of a negative for me. I think they do the barn honestly. It's ultimately done better in the third one, but here they do a pretty cool job of adding in the tractor and the little Jason meat tenderizer down beneath that they do down there. I thought that was a pretty cool sequence. So that was good, though. Even though, I mean, yeah, Jason just kind of stands there and lets Reggie run him over. I get that; it was cool, but it's a good sequence. Like you said, Bert, he just keeps trucking along, and they climb ladders again. Even though we've seen plenty of fellas climb plenty of ladders since the third one, but we do it again here, and they go up there and they have a good time. But yeah, I mean, that for me, that's the biggest thing. They have this whole epic third act that they bring us in. It's something we've already seen before. If it's not in part 2, it's in part 3. But yeah. Yeah, that's and yeah, I think that's about it.
Yeah, I will say that was another scene for me of convenience about him coming out with the tractor because he's getting ready to kill this bitch, and I mean it's almost like Reggie comes out in a steamroller, dude. Because I mean it takes a long time for him to get hit, and you're telling me that he's going to be paralyzed in fear the entire time.
Deer in the
He
headlights,
does.
man.
He stands there, man. He's like,
I know, and just waits to get hit by the front loader of this thing. So that was another like logic jump for me. That was like, what's going on here?
Freaking awesome! He's freaking Austin Powers.
Yeah, as a
it reminded me.
It waits for fucking ever, dude. Absolutely.
It reminded me of freaking Deadpool, where he's running over the guy in the Zambini over there, and
You're gonna die with my Zambini.
Yeah. I will also say that there are two ways to die in here that would be some of my least favorite. One, dying in a porta potty. 2, dying while roboting. Okay, because that poor girl.
Don't you get me started on the robot.
She doesn't even bother to fucking turn her. She's so into it, dude. Just like I can't. Obviously, I'm a terrible dancer, but she's killing it over there. Literally. Sorry, Bert, stole that one from you, and. You know, he comes in to fucking kill her, you know, and it's like you didn't bother to turn around this whole time. You have to.
Well, she couldn't hear the loud music, man.
But if you're gonna robot, dude, you've got to robot in all directions. You know, you have to be changing directions all the time.
Where does this franchise find these dancers? Like, there's been so many dance floors murdered in this thing. Obviously, part 4 with our boy Crispin. She's tearing it up out there. Okay,
Crispin and Bert, man.
Bert killed it worse than he did.
She's out there tearing it up, and the music go back and listen to this. The music she has on sounds like she's playing Sonic the Hedgehog. Part 2, and that's obviously the kind of tunes that we're getting here, and it sounds just like that. But I will say, like, her original kill prior to MPAA was like a machete up the vagina, and they cut it out. Like, she was going to have a brutal ass fucking kill.
Wow.
That was the plan. Yeah.
Man, that would have been amazing.
And I think you can even see it, like, when her body's like in the. I feel like there's a sequence you can still kind of see it.
It was a pillow.
Maybe it was a pillow. Yeah. Yeah. Good call.
It looked like a pillow. Like, I was watching Dead Meat earlier and kind of like getting the kill section ready. And, freaking James was talking about how you can kind of tell it looked like a pillow. It wasn't her actual torso.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's like, and you have a budget, so you can make that look a lot better.
Yeah, but I thought at the end of the day, she was going to have a badass kill. They cut it out, of course. I mean, that's extreme. Of course, they did it in Terrifier, but either way, yeah, that's it for me, man. I think at the end of the day, I know Brett. I know you want us to talk a little bit about Pam.
Let's fucking get this bitch. Okay, dude, it was absolutely dreadful. I fucking hated her the first time I saw her on screen. I didn't even have to know her character. I know her character was going to be awful. And it really, really was. And just like, yeah, and I realized too, like with this recent watch, during the whole running scene, she had no bra on. I did not know. Yeah,
which redeems her completely for some of us, Bert. You know what I mean?
Well, good for you. But like, what frustrated me most is where the hell was her sweater? Like, in one scene she was running with a pink sweater, and then suddenly it's gone, and then the next cutaway scene it's right back on her. What the fuck?
Oh, like, Bert, you get warm sometimes.
Yeah, they were probably on a time schedule. And the director's like, just keep it in there. But no, easily to me one of the worst final girls in the Friday the 13th franchise. I just hated her. I almost put her on the same level of hate as Alice, and I really have to do some And I really have to do some hard thinking on which one out of the two I hate the most because, dude, it was just bad.
Bert, can I ask you a personal question?
Yes.
How do you feel knowing that Alice got it? She's no longer with us, but Pam's still out there. She survived this ordeal, and she's still alive and kicking, and she's out there in the world.
Technically, according to the end, there's a chance that Tommy killed her. Like he killed her in the dream sequence, and he could possibly kill her in the real sequence. Because remember, he had the mask on and getting ready to get her.
Yeah, but the endings never count these things, so it's like she's still.
Well, we might never know. He could have gone back to the loony bin after that.
For all intents and purposes, she's still out there. Does that bother you, or do you think?
Oh, that so bothers me.
She's out there somewhere, buddy. Just
and the last
her shirt
thing
off, and it's showtime.
Yeah, the last the last thing I have too. Freaking Matt, the supervisor. One of his rules says it's like, well, you're your own boss. And he fucking tells Tommy what the fucking to do the whole time. Like, hey, can you go get so and so? Hey, can you go with Pam? Hey, can you do this? Can you do that? Like, you just broke your own fucking rule, you dipshit. I'm glad he got caught.
My favorite kill, I think it's the 100% decapitation of Junior.
Okay.
I had that. That was on my
You know
list.
what? Because it is a service to the average viewer of this movie because he's such a fucking pain in the asshole. And it's cool, right? You see it come out and then all of a sudden his head is gone. I love it. It was a toss up between that and I really love the flare kill. I don't know why. That's probably just me. I just thought that was really like, that was cool. So what you guys got?
My favorite kill is really between two. It's either going to be the Tina kill or the Eddie kill. I thought both of them were the most brutal and memorable just out of this whole movie. If I have to pick one, it was going to be the Tina kill. But right before we got on here, I'm like, you know what? Let's go with the Eddie kill with the whole belt to the face and squeezing your head. To me, I feel like that's just way more painful. Like with the shears, it's just very quick and easy. But with the belt, it's just, to me, it kills you. It's just more torturing and suffering. So I'm going, and it looked very damn brutal too. So I'm going to give it to freaking Eddie on this one.
Ooh, good one. Mine's going to go to Tina, which, by the way, her name in real life is Deborah Voorhees. I thought that was really cool how they found somebody
so awesome
with the last name of Voorhees to throw into this movie where there's no other Voorheeses around. So I thought that was kind of cool. But yeah, like for me, all the kills in this thing is pretty much a letdown because they're cut away. But this one at least shows you the aftermath. Like you don't see the kill itself, but you see like her freaking eyeballs freaking squished in and the nose pierced up. So I thought that was kind of cool. I like that. The tourniquet thing was really interesting too. I like that one quite a bit. There, Bert. That was up on the list high for me as well. It to me, it's just kind of logically speaking, it's like I feel like that would be kind of easy to escape. Like it's damn Roy, man. It's Roy. He's back there and like he's doing all this. I feel like you could just kind of, all right, I'm out. But it was still really cool. I really enjoyed that one too. It's definitely up top 3 in the list for this movie.
Awesome. So the first video ever out of this Friday the 13th series, we each had a different kill. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
yeah, hell yeah.
Now this is what I'm looking forward to. How would you rate this? Brad, we'll go with you first, my friend.
I'm going to give this thing a 2.5.
Okay.
It's enjoyable. It's got some funness to it, but at the same time, it's also not very good.
Yeah. I'm giving it a 2.5 as well. Like, I still enjoy it. I can have fun with it, I guess. You just got to give me a couple of them claws in me to enjoy it even more. But yeah, and good titties. I agree with Chris. Very good titties. And that, I guess, that's the advantage of having a porn director as directing your movie. But it really freaking shows, too, and what really holds it back to what this movie could truly be. So a 2.5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah, and for me, you know what? It's funny that you guys said that because I thought that you were going to have it higher than me. I actually had this one listed as a 2.5. I thought for sure
Okay.
y'all were gonna go 3, and it's bizarre to me because I feel like I hate this worse than y'all do. But yeah, I mean, it just seemed everything in this was completely unnecessary.
Okay. So with all the math, Brad, that I believe is going to be Smith's Grove, correct?
Average Joe's Gymnasium.
Oh, my sweet Jesus.
That's right.
Yeah. So guys, this is that's part 5 of Friday the 13th. Damn, that was brutal. So luckily, the next one for next week, we get to have a little bit more fun with that one. Absolutely, we will. So, guys, what did you all think about Friday the 13th Part 5? Do you agree with us that it just missed a mark on a lot of things, but we could still have a good time with it? Or you really, really love this movie? Or do you really love this movie? We'd love to hear your opinions in that comment section down below, and let's get that discussion rolling.
And if you have some good reels, you can do so by finding us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, Snapchat, Spotify, Apple Podcast, and TikTok. Those links are going to be in the description for you to find down below.
Absolutely. And be sure to like this video, share, and subscribe. And of course, ring that bell, ding, 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 so you know when the next Friday the 13th video is ready.
That's right.
We'll
Don't
see you
end
guys-
up like Tommy. You pay attention to your mental health, right?
Pay attention to it. Bring a sleeping bag next week. Actually, bring 2. And we'll see you guys camping next week. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Love your mother
See you guys.
as much as Jason does.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh, baby.
Ooh, baby.